You might be thinking that the title of this video is clickbait, but unlike Hillary, you'd be wrong. But how can I say such a thing? With all that we know about everything from Vince Foster to Seth Rich, from Whitewater to Uranium One, how can I possibly say she did nothing wrong? Well, the answer is pretty easy, actually. It's because it worked. Sure, she might not have been elected president, and there's no doubt in my mind that's a huge disappointment for her, but somehow I think she'll be just fine. Much in the same way I would be just fine not being president if I had hundreds of millions of dollars and I was totally immune to prosecution, no matter what crime I committed, including murder. No matter how many people knew about my crimes, nobody would actually do anything about it. Yeah, I think I would be just fine. And you know what? I'd get a real kick out of the few people who saw me for what I was and naively thought that the same rules, the rules that were made to keep them in check, were somehow applied to me. I would laugh my ass off, and I'd watch them cling desperately to the hope that justice would be done, that their cries of lock her up were heard. But you see, justice is being done, just not the way you imagine justice. And those cries were heard, or rather they were tolerated, much in the same way that a child is tolerated when they whine about how unfair the world is, when they aren't entirely wrong, but it still doesn't change anything, so you let them get it out of their system because they aren't capable of understanding the way the world works, and to tell them the harsh reality would just seem cruel. The reality that there are two kinds of people in this world: those that rule and those who submit to being ruled. And all the indignation in the world isn't going to change the fact that Hillary does not submit to being ruled. And if we judge actions by their consequences, and I don't think that's unfair to do, how could we ever say she's done anything wrong? It might make you feel better about the situation, thinking that maybe in the next life, if there is one, she'll face consequences, but I hardly think that keeps her up at night. And those on the right that find themselves in power, those that at least up until this point have done nothing to adjust the course of Hillary's fate to something that might resemble justice to those that have submitted to being ruled and who have naively believed that in return they have champions that apply the law equally to everyone else. But you see, the people on the right, they also desire to rule. So when they see Hillary, they're not frustrated. They're envious. Envious of her cunning, of her wealth, of her power, which might explain why they don't seem too interested in locking her up, you see, because that would suggest that she has done something wrong. And if you're motivated by power and greed, there is nothing clearer than the fact that she has done everything right. For BlackPilled, I'm Devin Stack. If you like my videos, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You can donate to me on Patreon at patreon.com/BlackPilled or give to the crypto addresses below.